Anyone who saw Todd Hickman fight in the early 1980s predicted greatness for him. He had it all: charisma, skills, and a rare natural feel for the sport. But at the age of 7, Hickman himself told his parents that he would die young. His words became a self-fulfilling prophecy, a boxing cliché of the gifted phenom who fell in with the bad crowd, his future tale of redemption cut short by a bullet. Todd Hickman's father, Bill, was a Golden Gloves champion back in the 1950s and boxed in the Army, but neither he nor his son gave the sport a second thought until a neighbor told him that he was on the way to the West Akron YMCA for boxing training. Todd's father asked if his son could tag along, but what Bill didn't know was that his son was a natural at the sport. Entering the ring for the first time in street shoes, the young boy put a whipping on another more experienced kid in the gym. "I felt like I had a natural," Bill said. "A toughie." 2 days later, Bill entered his son into the Lake Erie Junior Olympic Boxing Championship for 10 and 11-year-olds. Todd easily won the tournament, and by 1982, the now teenage son had packed the house full of trophies, medals, and ribbons. Bill trained his son, but admitted there wasn't much he could teach Todd about the sport. "He catches on real well," Bill said. "He does most of it himself." Hickman fell in love with the sport, often pounding the heavy bag in the basement, pretending he was fighting Roberto Duran. After winning the National Junior Olympic title, the 15-year-old high school sophomore was invited to Mayor Roy Ray's office as it was declared Todd Hickman Day in Akron, Ohio. Now setting his sights on the 1984 Olympics, his success in the ring made the family closer. Father Bill now spent his time training Todd and other fighters at the Crane Howard Gym instead of working extra hours at his cement mason job. His mother, Roberta, wasn't too keen on the idea of her son boxing, as she thought the sport was brutal and cruel. But she talked to a local minister about it and her mind changed. The minister, while not a boxing fan, told her that as a parent, she should give her son her full moral support. Warming to the sport, Roberta became both a certified judge and inspector on the amateur boxing circuit. She felt a sense of family accomplishment over what Todd was achieving as he amassed a 146-12 one-loss record, winning tournament after tournament. She was proud of the fearlessness of her son. "I've seen him scared only once," Bill said. "That was during his 4th fight. We were at the Firestone Y, and this kid was in the corner pouring it on, trying to intimidate Todd. He sent for me. I asked him if he was scared, and he said yes. So I told him that if he ran into the ring and hit the kid real fast, that would get rid of his butterflies. I told him that after he did that, he should do his shuffle to let him know if he was all right. That's just the way it happened."
Hickman also has a win over highly respected Steve McCrory. So at age 16, Hickman has progressed rapidly up the amateur boxing ladder. And now is into an opportunity to win the United States title at his flyweight division. And we expect he'll be moving up in weight as he goes along. Right now, this flyweight title very important to him. Robinson a little wary of him now. He has to respect the quickness. Look at the combination of punches thrown in rapid-fire success. Could be a mistake for Derek Robinson with the speed of Todd Hickman. Hickman was 10 years old when he ran into a buddy who was on his way to the gym to work out for a Golden Gloves tourney and asked if you want to come along, and he said sure. And that was the beginning of what appears to be a very promising boxing career for Hickman. Robinson doing a lot of running now, unable to get close to him. Robinson trying to do some counter punching, got a couple of heavy blows through. Now Hickman with the speed again lands two. His quickness, the biggest advantage over Robinson so far. It's all Hickman here in the second round. Hickman slipping there. Referee Adolph has him dust off the gloves. Cautions Robinson, lets them go right on. Obstacle here. Both these boxers have chosen to work.
Just take it home now.
And in my opinion, wise decision. He's going to leave it off now, Robinson, for this third round. So obviously, the headgear is not to his liking. Round 3 is underway. Robinson, with a lot of ground to make up, may find it difficult against Hickman. Because of his speed and the speed of his hands, it's very, very difficult to get to. Robinson has scored from time to time with the left, has had trouble following with the right hand. He is a heavy enough puncher, no question about that, but does not compare favorably in terms of speed. Took a good shot right there from Todd Hickman. Robinson is a little frustrated now because when he has tried to go inside, he has been met by some fine counter-punching from Hickman. Yet at long range, he can't seem to reach him. But Robinson giving it all he has in an attempt to come back and sway the judges in this final round, but he appears to be well behind in points. Time is running out on Derek Robinson. Less than 30 seconds to go in the third and final round, and he has not succeeded in his goal of trying to score effectively enough to win this bout in the third round. The way we see it, Todd Hickman, simply too much for Robinson. There is the bell to end the third and final round. And this crowd appreciative of the show that Todd Hickman put on for them. We'll have the decision for you in just a moment. Now the flyweight division of these United States Amateur Boxing Championships.
The weight class, the winner in the red corner, Todd Hickman of Akron, Ohio.
Hickman gets the decision by a 4-1 vote among the 5 judges over Derek Robinson of St. Louis. Todd, you're a fine boxer, but to win this one, you had to be a fine slugger, too.
I had to go in there every once in a while. I didn't want to, but I found out that I had to every once in a while.
You got off to a good start. Your corner was cautioning you against throwing too many punches and punching yourself out.
I was doing it too much. I was throwing too many, I had to save some for the last couple rounds, just to impress the judges.
Must be satisfying at 16 to be a U.S. national amateur champion.
Yes, it's the best feeling in the world to me right now.
Well, with your youth, you're bound to have many more moments like this. Congratulations,
All right,
Todd.
thanks.
Todd briefly quit the sport several times, and his father usually just brushed it off. But in 1981, Todd quit after losing in the Junior Olympic Finals, and his father took it a bit more seriously than the other announcements. Away on a cement mason job, he called his son every night for 2 weeks and encouraged him to get back into the ring. He didn't budge, Bill said. He said he was tired of training, and I think deep down I understood how he felt. The father had one last trump card, telling the young man that if he quit boxing, he would have to get a real job. Todd would be in the gym the next day. He would win 76 straight amateur fights, and his father made arrangements for him to graduate early. He then made amateur boxing history by becoming the first 16-year-old to win a national Golden Gloves title. Now the #1 rated amateur at 112 pounds, making the weight had become a struggle, considering he had grown over 8 inches over the past year.
The move to 119 affect your style at all?
No, it won't affect my style that much. I'm a lot stronger at 119 because I'm not losing the weight to go down to 112. Only thing you see different is that I'm punching harder.
You still move the same as you always did?
Still move the same, just as fast.
Round one, this will be an interesting international test for Todd Hickman. He has not had that many international bouts. The fact that the Irishman is a southpaw may tend to confuse him in the early going here. When Fitzgerald's not boxing, he is the manager of the Yankee Doodle restaurant in Wicklow, Ireland. And he's got a tough Yankee on his hands here in young Todd Hickman. Hickman, down he goes as he threw the right. He was caught by Fitzgerald. And he will take the count sitting on the canvas. Says he's all right, looking up to the referee now, Safaraz of Los Angeles. And he will continue, but Todd Hickman, unprepared for the southpaw style perhaps of Paul Fitzgerald, got stung early. What a surprise this is, as Hickman was certainly favored against the Irish boxer coming in with his quickness. But it was the quickness of Paul Fitzgerald that caught Hickman. Fitzgerald looked to be a little wary of him, backing away until he unloaded that blow that dropped Hickman so suddenly. Opponent trying to pin him in that corner, but Fitzgerald back to the center of the ring. No question, Hickman is one of the shining young prospects for the '84 Olympic team. And he stung Fitzgerald with the left, followed by the right. Fitzgerald is now sitting down on the canvas. They've each been down once. Fitzgerald trying to shake it off, getting to his feet, so it's 1-1 in knockdowns in this bantamweight bout. On stiff right off the bat, sends him down again. The second count. Safaraz looking very carefully now at the Irish boxer, letting him get up. Will he let him continue? Yes, he will. Todd Hickman has taken him down twice. One more, of course, means the stoppage of the bout if Hickman can nail him again. But Fitzgerald has hardly had time to clear his head and catch his breath. Hickman on the attack again. Fitzgerald retreating, swinging wildly. Hickman following through with the right hand. Measuring him now. He knows he's got him in trouble. Halfway into the first round, and Todd Hickman is all over Paul Fitzgerald. It's a caution from the referee. Fitzgerald trying to weather this storm from Hickman and get out of round one. He's got well over a minute left, however. Blood now coming from the mouth of the Irish boxer. Referee encouraging Fitzgerald to fight. He was covering up in the corner in a passive position, and he's been retreating and covering up ever since the second quick knockdown from Todd Hickman. So Hickman, stunned by the early knockdown he sustained, has bounced up to take the action to Paul Fitzgerald and maul him here in this first round. Safaraz, the referee, has seen enough, and rightly so, because Fitzgerald was strictly limited to a defensive position as Todd Hickman took it to him. Referee stops the contest here in round one, the third win for the United States. Hickman over Fitzgerald. I guess he got your attention when he stung you over in the corner there. What happened?
Oh, yeah, I was going after him, and then I hadn't realized he was southpaw. Then he threw a wild left hand, caught me. I went down.
You weren't looking for that?
Oh, no.
So then you got on your racehorse and chased him around the ring the rest of the way.
Yeah, I got up. I was all right. I was shaky for like 3 seconds after I got up. And I went out there, and he hit me again, and it woke me up. And then I went after him, and I caught him, knocked him down, and got him again. And I figured that the time was running out, and he was hitting hard, so I didn't want to go in the second round. So I went after him. That's why I was chasing. I got him.
Well, you were running well enough and moving well enough. I mean, 119 looked to be okay for you.
Oh, yeah, I feel real good and strong at 119.
All right, Todd. Well, congratulations, and keep it going.
All right, thank you.
In 1983, the man-child would become a father. My daughter's mother understands about boxing, the 16-year-old Hickman said. We'll get married after 1984. But signs of future trouble began when Hickman was one of 3 boxers against whom a sexual assault charge was lodged by a 19-year-old female employee at the Olympic Training Center. The woman, a cafeteria worker, filed a complaint with the officials at the center, which was then forwarded to the police. Hickman was later exonerated, passing a polygraph test and denying all allegations. But fatherhood, legal troubles, and boxing combined to rob him of his teenage rites of passage. When it was time for my prom, Hickman said, I was fighting in Russia. The 17-year-old's victory over the 24-year-old Russian was more one-sided than the scoring indicated. Word spread of his ability. Sylvester Stallone, Emmanuel Stewart, and Angelo Dundee were among those expressing interest in signing Hickman to a pro contract. But the weight troubles continued into the Olympic trials. Hickman's father insisted that the now 5'10" teenager remain competing at 119 pounds. Amateur boxing federal officials recommended that the boxer's father allow Hickman to move up at least one weight class, but his father refused. Hickman went into a qualifying bout against Robert Shannon, suffering from low blood sugar. He lost a controversial decision and missed out on qualifying for the Olympics. The defeat devastated Hickman. Some close to him claimed that he never quite got over it. He decided to turn professional, going with local businessman Lenny Shaw, who had guided Hickman's friend Charlie White Lightning Brown to a championship fight. Shaw offered the opportunity for Hickman to fight and remain in his hometown rather than go straight to the glitz of Atlantic City or Las Vegas. I think Todd has the ability to win a championship, Shaw said. I think he can be another Sugar Ray Leonard, if not better. He's got more basic talent than Leonard when he started. Shaw hired J.C. Davis to train Hickman, but the new coach and Hickman's father immediately disagreed on how things should be done. Hickman's father banned Davis from the corner. Todd won his first two pro bouts, fighting back-to-back in August and September of 1985. But in November of that year, he was arrested on a weapons charge. Hickman was on the campus of Kent State University when he was stopped and searched because, quote, his actions were suspicious, and police found him carrying a concealed handgun. His father Bill insisted that the incident was a misunderstanding. But the following month, Hickman would lead police on a chase in Akron, getting charged with reckless driving. Manager Lenny Shaw then gave Hickman an ultimatum. He wanted Todd to leave Akron and come to New Jersey to train. Talent is nothing if the fighter doesn't work, Shaw said. Right now, Hickman isn't acting like a fighter, but Todd's father didn't allow him to leave Akron. After promises of living on the straight and narrow, Todd's behavior got out of hand. In February of 1986, he was charged with cocaine possession and once again carrying a concealed weapon. He was sentenced to 2 years in Ohio State Reformatory, but was granted probation a month later. In December of 1986, he was charged with rape, but not indicted. He pled guilty to violating his probation, and his drug and weapons charges were reimposed. I was hoping he would get straightened out, Shaw said, but I had no idea. You can never tell with him. One minute it would be yes, yes, yes. The next minute, he would change completely. Upon his release, Hickman committed 6 assaults and an aggravated robbery in September of 1988. Maybe it happened because he was such a gifted athlete, Wiley Ferrier said, that because boxing came so easily to him, he thought he could break away from that drug scene at any time just as easily as he could become a great boxer. Manager Shaw refused to give up on the fallen hero. Hickman tried to put his life together after 4 years of being on the wrong side of the law. He found work at the Cleveland Parks and Recreation Department, teaching youngsters how to box. It was a start to get back on the straight road. But in October of 1989, Hickman was shot point blank in a drug-related incident. According to an eyewitness, a man came up to Hickman and said, quote, "This is the 3rd time you effed up," and fired. "Just tell my daddy," Todd said in his final words to a witness at the scene. "Just tell my daddy." Hickman later died at the hospital. He was 23 years old. His sister Paula spoke at the killer's sentencing, revealing that Todd's murder drained the life out of her parents. When Bill and Roberta Hickman had to bury their youngest son, Paula said, the experience turned 2 vibrant, active people in the community into a mere memory. Todd had a bright future, she continued. If all of us here today had not a chance to reach full maturity and had to stay where we were at the age of 23, what a much sadder state of affairs this world would be today.